I got a question for you. Do you know what caregiver syndrome is? There's another phrase that you might be more familiar with. It's called caregiver burnout. It's a real thing, and we're going to discuss it on this next episode of Chatting It Up with CJ. So let's get into it. Have you ever, doesn't matter what you're doing, yes, this is a caregiving channel, but have you ever taken on a project and literally burned the candle at both ends? Meaning, there's only so much wick in a wax candle. If you light it up on both sides, eventually it'll end up burning till there's nothing to burn anymore. And it stops. That's what we literally do when we're in the middle of caregiver burnout. That's also known as caregiver syndrome. I didn't even know what caregiver syndrome was, or even that there was a caregiver burnout, until I was actually in it. The whole purpose of this particular episode is to help you recognize or be aware of this, because you don't want to get yourself caught into this situation. The last thing you want to do is, pop a cork, blow a fuse, snap someone's head off. There's so many different ways of having caregiver burnout that express itself from inside, and it just comes bursting out. Ask the people around me during my caregiving days what I was like. My life partner used to tell me, "Carolyn, I know you. I can see certain things in you." The weird thing is, I never saw it in myself. I never knew it. Even though that person knew me better than myself, they shot up red flares all the time. And I was like, I saw them shoot off red flares, but I kept thinking, why are you saying this? What are you talking about? I had no clue because I couldn't see what they were seeing. I was too much in the forest. I couldn't even see the trees. Is that right? I'm raised by immigrants. My parents came from another country, so I don't even know a lot of the American phrases. My point is, when you're so deep into it, sometimes you don't even realize the things that you're doing. And it's very obvious and apparent to everybody else around you. But for you, you might be so into it that you don't even realize it. I knew that something was up when I had a crabby mood. Others might say, you have a short fuse. I had zero to no patience. In my own personality, sometimes I am impatient. I want things done now. But when you look at today's society, even a microwave, which does things in seconds, is too slow. Think about it. When you're in the caregiver mode, you have to be methodical and you need to be patient. That was a huge challenge for me personally because of my personality. I wanted things done snappy. I was putting myself on an agenda, but not thinking that my mom could not keep up with my agenda. She was the one that had memory issues. She was the one that was compromised physically. And yet I was saying, come on, Mom, we can't be late. Let's go. Certainly, I am not the only one that has possibly gone through that, right? Come on, talk to me. But the thing is that when you're in that mode, sometimes you put unwarranted stress on yourself. And when you have unwarranted stress, there's a word that we all hate and that we all find out about later on called cortisol. Oh, it's my number one enemy. When cortisol hits women, we see it show up. There's things called pooches and pouches and things we don't want. But let me tell you, it's true. It exists. It happens. And then coming with stress, people like to do things like self-medicate by eating. Here I thought with all my stress and my levels of stress and anxiety and things that I was going through, that I would literally start shedding the pounds because I'm like overstressed. Oh, no. What did I learn? Carolyn likes to eat. And I'm paying the price now. Some people do lose weight, but then that's dangerous too, because they can't put on weight. Their metabolism is going so high. Mine basically stopped. and said, okay, you're going to be this way. I'm going to check out. You can do what you need to do, but I'm just going to I'm on vacation. Again, I'm paying the price today. These are things we need to think about. When you're in caregiver burnout, caregiver syndrome, a lot of physiological things happen to you. And every day just goes by, and it gets worse and worse the longer that you don't take care of it. You are in a 24/7 constant mode of living in fight or flight, freeze or fawn. Have you ever heard that before? And the thing is, your body will think it's normal. When you start having anxiety attacks, it may put you into a freeze mode. You can't do anything. You can't function because it's in a protective mode. Your brain is sending signals to your body. Oh, danger, freeze. Or your brain may be saying, there's danger, we need to fight. Or maybe it's telling you, I'm leaving. I'm in my flight mode. I'm taking off. These are all protective ways of protecting yourself. These are signals and messages that your brain is feeding your body. That's why sometimes when you're overly stressed and in anxiety mode, that sometimes your body tells you, you need to get this done. The signals that your brain is like, And I'm experiencing that post-caregiving. There's a lot of things that I want to get to that I can't because my body is in a freeze protective mode. There's a way that you have to treat your body while you're going through these high anxiety, high emotional types of moments, because your brain is sending signals. And when you're in high stress mode, when you're in this syndrome of caregiving, this burnout stage, high stress levels, your brain will send messages to your body and you just can't function. That is the reason why I keep talking about respite. That's the reason why I keep talking about take time for yourself. I don't like the phrases of self-care and all that stuff, but it is vital for you to survive. Because a lot of times I've caught myself holding my breath. And when I would take a breath, I would gasp for air like I was coming up from underwater. And I thought, why am I acting this way? It's because when I was going through the motions, you're holding your breath. You're not even breathing right. And you need oxygen to fill your blood so that it runs through your body, because every point of your body needs to have oxygen. And when you hold your breath, you're depleting certain parts of your body from oxygen. A lot of times you're depleting it from your own brain. That is the reason why caregivers run the risk of getting more physiologically ill than the person that they're even taking care of, because they are slowly diminishing their own health values while they're taking care of someone else. You have to learn how to breathe. They call it tactical breathing. Breathe in from your nose. Blow out the candle on the other side of the room. Tactical breathing is what it's called. Your complete nervous system has a breakdown when you don't properly breathe, when you don't properly take care of yourself, when you don't take time for yourself. It is a real thing. Pay attention to your body. If you don't feel well, or you're saying, you make excuses, I can't get to this right now. I'm not eating well because I don't have the time to eat well. Come on. You know better. Yes, it's important that you take care of your loved one, but it's important you take care of you, because you're nothing to your loved one if you don't take care of you. That's my message. That's what caregiver syndrome is. That's also known as caregiver burnout. If it means that you can only take 2 hours of the day, then take 2 hours of the day for yourself. Take a nap. Sleep when your loved one sleeps. If you don't get to sleep overnight because they're up and doing all kinds of sundowning stuff, then you sleep when they sleep. Take a nap. Find somebody to sit with them while you do something for yourself. Because I'll be the first one to admit, You will lose yourself eventually. Things will seem so different. Your world won't be recognizable anymore. So you keep the little bits and pieces that are you, so you don't forget who you are. Because when this is all over, there will be a day that caregiving will end. If you don't have those little bits and pieces, those little breadcrumbs of who you are, you won't be able to pick them up and put it back together. I'll be the first one to say it changes you. But you want those little nuggets. You want those little pieces, right? It's important. Stop staring at this. I was doing yard work and I got stung by a bee. On my chin! Self-care. I was like, what was this? I never... Okay, that was my squirrel moment. Look it. All I'm saying is pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Be blessed. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thanks for watching. And please remember to hit the subscribe button. We are trying to grow our channel and reach 1,000 subscribers. Now, for every new subscriber, these two nutheads right here, they're going to get a treat, so we will all be happy. Thanks for watching.